In a divine retreat from mortal thought, in a prodigious gesture of the soul side,
In a prodigious, pro and digious, prodigious.
prodigious, prodigious gesture of soul sight, his being towered into pathless heights, naked of its vesture of humanity.
Naked
Mhm.
of its, what is a vesture? It's a garment.
Okay.
It's just this, it's not even part of humanity anymore. He's not even part of humanity
Mhm.
because his being has towered so far into
Mhm.
these pathless heights through this prodigious gesture of soul sight. It is
Mhm.
now naked of its vesture of humanity. Okay, I got it.
As thus it rose to meet him bare and pure, a strong descent leaped down, a might, a flame, a beauty half visible, with deathless eyes, a violent ecstasy, a sweetness dire, enveloped him with its stupendous limbs and penetrated nerve and heart and brain that thrilled and fainted with the epiphany. His nature shuddered in it in the unknown's grasp.
So everything is coming into him now. It's
Yes,
enveloped.
enveloped.
Yes, enveloped him with stupendous is extraordinary, astounding force. Huh?
Uh-huh.
And these stupendous limbs are enveloping. They're embracing him, actually, fully enveloping him. And they penetrated nerve and heart and brain. And of course, that was so much that thrilled and fainted with the Epiphany. Now, the Epiphany, of course, is something, an appearance of a deity.
Uh-huh. Okay. Appearance of deity. Okay.
And his nature shuddered. To shudder, of course, is something to shake rather
Uh,
violently. Huh? In
okay.
the
It's sort of a
unknowns,
vibration.
pardon?
You you see you get that vibration when you see something extraordinary. I mean, the deity has appeared, so is that?
Yes, you can shudder. Yes, certainly you can shudder.
Uh-huh.
Certainly. In the unknown's grasp, and we've spoken about the unknown many times, I believe,
Yes.
so we can pass and move on.
Okay. In a
It's
moment.
still all about what Ashwapati is experiencing now.
Okay. In a moment shorter than death, longer than time, by a power more ruthless than love, happier than heaven, taking sovereignly into eternal arms, hailed and coerced by a
No,
stark
coerced.
coerced, okay, hailed and coerced by a stark absolute bliss in a whirlwind circuit of delight and force, hurried into unimaginable depths, unborn into immeasurable heights. It was torn out from its immortality and underwent a new and boneless change.
So now let's look at this great, almost paragraph. He
Mhm,
is, first of all, living in this moment that is
mhm,
shorter than death. Now we think death is eternal. It's a long time. but this moment is shorter than death, and yet it's longer than time. Interesting, huh? By
Yeah.
a power, and power, we know the word power already,
Mm.
more ruthless than love. Oh, happier than heaven, taken sovereignly into eternal arms, hailed and coerced by a stark absolute bliss in a whirlwind circuit. A whirlwind circuit spinning around, huh?
Uh-huh.
Whirlwind. We know what a whirlwind
Right.
is.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Of delight and force, hurried, so hurried now, and then upborne, hurried into unimaginable depths,
Mm.
upborne into immeasurable heights. It was torn out from its mortality and underwent a new and bournless change. Bournless, without any limit, means without a limit.
Okay.
Bournless.
Limit. Okay.
So Ashwapati is a sage on the earth. He's becoming an avatar or realizing his avatarhood. And
Uh-huh.
therefore, after being in this whirlwind circuit of delight and force, both delight and force, he is
Uh-huh.
hurried into these unimaginable depths, and he's upborne into immeasurable heights. And therefore, his body, is torn out from its mortality. So, although he's immortal, it was
Uh-huh.
torn out from its mortality, and therefore it underwent a new and limitless change.
Got it. Okay.
Good, good.
Okay.
So we can continue on.
Yes, an omniscient knowing without sight or thought, an indecipherable omnipotence,
Indecipherable.
an
Indecipherable.
indecipherable, okay, an indecipherable
No,
omnipotence.
you're saying able. It's indecipherable.
Okay, okay, able, okay, not able, able, okay, an indecipherable omnipotence,
Good.
a, a mystic form that could contain the worlds, yet make one human breast its compassionate shrine.
No, it's passionate shrine, not
Oh, sorry.
compassionate.
Yeah, yet make one human breast its passionate shrine. Drew him out of his seeking loneliness into the magnitudes of God's embrace.
Oh, this is so beautiful. So beautiful. So we see now here that this omniscient knowing without
Uh-huh.
sight or thought. So it's an omniscient knowing. It's a total knowing, absolutely total knowledge, knowing
Okay.
everything. Omniscient knowing is knowing everything,
Uh-huh.
but it's knowing it even without sight or thought.
Okay.
Interesting. Very
Yes.
interesting. And now it's indecipherable omnipotence. It's not understandable.
Oh.
Indecipherable is like not decipherable or illegible, not understandable or incomprehensible omnipotence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it is a mystic form that could contain the worlds. This always has so interested me because this mystic form, I think it's his changing body.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Now,
yeah.
you know the story of Purani when he came back after some years and met Sri Aurobindo. he knew Sri Aurobindo when he was a young boy. And
Mm-hmm.
Sri Aurobindo was very, very dark.
Oh.
And here Purani comes up to him, and Sri Aurobindo is white.
Oh my God.
And
Okay.
Purani says, "What has happened to you?"
Uh-huh.
And Sri Aurobindo, in his humorous way, is looking at Purani with a beard. And he points to his beard and says, "And what has happened to you?"
Yeah. But Narad sir, we can see the distinction in the pictures too of Sri
Oh, we can.
Aurobindo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
completely changed, huh?
Yes. Yes.
I'm told by Ranganath that his nails changed,
Oh
even his
wow.
fingernails and toenails changed.
Okay.
Extraordinary. So we have this mystic form that could contain the worlds,
Mhm.
yet make one human breast, and that's Sri Aurobindo, its
Mhm.
passionate shrine, drew him out of his seeking loneliness because there was no one else who was going
Mhm.
through this. We've seen this already in two cantos, Canto
Yes.
3 and now Canto 5.
Yes.
And it drew him out of this seeking loneliness into the magnitudes of God's embrace.
So this is beyond spiritual awakening. This is almost becoming an
Oh,
avatar. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you could do another 5 lines because I have to read something to you.
Sure. As when a timeless eye annuls the hours, abolishing the agent and the act, so now his spirit shone out wide, blank, pure. His vacant mind became an empty slate on which the universal and soul could write.
Yes. So now we have this timeless eye, or luminous eye, even. I asked Alok and Jumur, and Alok said it is the eye of the divine that is filled with his own light and needs no external light to function. It
Wow.
comes down, inspiring the prophet's tongue and revealing hidden things to the mind of the seer, but retires after a while. It does not stay permanently until the consciousness is transformed and the mind of man grows into the mind of a seer. Beautifully said. Jumur says it is simply the tranquil witness consciousness. It watches all and is also tremendously strong. It is the static force, one of the two aspects of power, the other being the sword of flame. Wow.
Very,
That
very
when
powerful.
a timeless eye annuls the hours, abolishing the agent and the act, everything is abolished. And
Mhm.
therefore, so now his spirit shone out, wide, blank, pure. And now there's a colon after pure. And these
Mhm.
two powerful lines, his wakened mind became an empty slate on which the universal and the soul could write. Now, this is very interesting because only when someone has achieved the silent mind,
Mhm.
the absolutely silent mind, and it becomes an empty slate, then
Mhm.
at that moment, the universal and soul, of course, is being the only one, the unrivaled, the unique,
Mhm. Okay.
could write. So all of Sri Aurobindo's books were
Mhm.
written from that place, from the
Oh.
universal and the soul. So
Wow.
and so he all that came down into him, and he used to write 4 books every month, 4 chapters of a book every month. Uh,
Wow.
Life Divine, Synthesis, Essays on the Gita, and I think there was one other one, maybe uh, Ideal of Human Unity or something like that. And then he would ask them one day, what do I have to write for this month? And they would say, oh, we need the chapters of this, this, and this. And he would write them down immediately. No thought involved, no thought at all. It would come from the universal and soul who could write in him. And so
Wow.
this is so beautiful that on your birthday we have learned that. Ah,
Thank you, Narad sir. Thank you, Narad sir.
good. Can
Narad
you
sir,
read?
is it a particular time in the day that he would write?
Um, well, I know that he wrote a lot at night.
Okay.
Uh, but he wrote also during the day because at that time he wasn't seeing people anymore.
Oh, okay. Right.
He,
Yeah.
he did not
Mother was in
accept.
charge of everybody outside. Okay.
He gave it to mother. He gave her everything to mother.
Okay. Okay.
Good. So
All
can
right.
you read
We'll
from the
start.
beginning? We
Yes,
have
I
a few minutes. Okay.
will. A nameless marvel fills the motionless hours. His spirit mingles with eternity's heart and bears the silence of the infinite. In a divine retreat from mortal thought, in a prodigious gesture of soul sight,
Almost there. Prodigious.
pro-
Prodigious.
in a prodigious gesture of soul sight, his being towered into pathless heights, naked of its vesture of humanity. As thus it rose to meet him bare and pure, a strong descent leaped down.
No,
A
a
mighty
strong descent. Descent.
descent, okay.
Not
A
decent,
strong,
but descent.
okay. A strong descent leaped down. A
Good.
might, a flame, a beauty half visible with deathless eyes, a violent ecstasy, a sweetness dire, enveloped him with its stupendous limbs
It's
and penetrated
the accent is on the second syllable. Enveloped, not enveloped, but envelope, but enveloped him.
okay, it's V and Ho, okay, enveloped,
Enveloped, yeah. If we say envelope, that's different. But this is enveloped. I mean, surrounded him,
okay,
enveloped
enveloped
him.
him with its stupendous
No,
limbs,
no, you said enveloped again. It's the second syllable. Enveloped him.
enveloped, okay, enveloped, okay,
Yes.
enveloped him with its stupendous limbs and penetrated nerve and heart and brain that thrilled and fainted with the epiphany. His nature shuddered in the unknown's grasp. In a moment shorter than death, longer than time, by a power more ruthless than love, happier than heaven, taken sovereignly into eternal arms, hailed and coerced by a stark absolute bliss in a whirlwind circuit of delight and force, hurried into unimaginable depths and borne into immeasurable heights, it was torn out from its immortality and underwent a new and boundless change. An omniscient knowing without sight or thought, an indecipherable omnipotence, a mystic form that could contain the worlds, yet make one human breast its, its passionate shrine, drew him out of his seeking loneliness into the magnitudes of God's embrace. As when a timeless eye annuls the hours, abolishing the agent and the act, so now his spirit shone out wide, blank, pure. His vacant mind became an empty slate on which the universal and soul could write.
Very good. There's some pronunciation problems. We'll work
Sure.
on those next week. Huh?
Thank you, Narad sir. Thanks a lot.
Namaste.
Okay.
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
Bye.